All right, here we are. We're at the outside patches, the 2560 Ginger. Today I'm gonna do a little video. This is the last time I'm gonna give any weights on pumpkins. I give them basically a DAP 40, then I stop, and then I'll just kind of, just show them from here. So this one is DAP 40 today, and I'll show you the rest here in a little bit. But anyways, outside here, this is DAP 4.26 Ginger. Do a little plant overview. Plant is not perfect. I've got a lot of spring ups, I call them. Vine tips sticking in the air. I'm trying to get cleaned up. A bunch of leaves turned over. I've had to cut all this out here. I did that almost 2 weeks ago now, though. Here's what I've got is a stump, not even a stump, just trying to get it dried out. Still fighting that a little bit. And a couple spots up and down the main, but that blower is amazing getting them dried out, okay? Put it right on there, let it go. Weeds outside the patch, I got a few. I'm not worried about that, but under the canopy, we're still pretty, there's nothing crazy going on. But overall plant, I give it a 7 out of 10. Pumpkin has been draining a lot out of it to the point that it's looking deficient in some stuff. I'm trying to play catch up, but that's a little tough. I don't worry about stuff like that. You see that kind of stuff in the older leaves especially, it's usually nothing. Letting a few run into the other patch here just to have some new growth. But plant overall, like I said, 7 out of 10. Not super happy with it, not bad. Pumpkin itself, here it is, 2560 Ginger on DAP 40. So this is my biggest DAP 40 I've ever had. It is 1,089 pounds, and that's to the old chart. So I'm guessing it's over 1,100 if you use the new chart. So there she is. A couple things. She's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful color. She's gonna turn that bright orange. You can see it towards the back here when I go around. 1 second, you can see it kind of darken it up back there and giving that starburst pattern. Gonna love that. A couple things I'm worried about. Oh yeah, that crease. And it's still a good ½ inch from touching. So might walk out here and find a nice big split one day, but hopefully not. And then of course I'm gonna have to do surgery right here because that sticks and start touching. This is gonna close up as it grows. But other than that, pumpkin is doing really, really well. She's still putting on some big numbers, which is great. We're not in the 50s anymore, we're in the 40s, but I'll definitely take that, especially with the 95-degree days we've had for the last 2 weeks. Like I said, plant, not perfect, kind of a pale color, but I've given it, honestly, too much nitrogen. I'm not going to give it any more. I've given it more nitrogen than I've ever given it, and it's still just eating it up, I guess. I'm not even really getting a lot of growth, maybe a few extra growth tips, but that's about it. But here's 2560 Ginger. Like I said, 1,089 pounds to the 2,000, I think, whatever, 13 or whatever the last chart was, not the new chart. So, but there she is. Super excited about this one. I told y'all last time I did this right here, it was at my waist. Now we're up to my belly button. So we're up here going. And I'm I'm a little off, but still, that's a heck of a pumpkin. I'm super happy with this one. This one's going to a way off if it survives. So gave it a good dose of Ridimo Gold last night, top and bottom, full drench and on the leaves. And we'll just see what happens. But what a pumpkin. So let's try to go for something special here if we can. Don't really have a whole lot of plant behind it, probably only 600 square feet or so. I've had to cut all that off, but hey, pretty decent. All right, let's go to the inside, the greenhouse. See you guys. All right, here we are. We're starting on the opposite in the greenhouse today. It is every bit of 96 degrees. It's probably well over 100 in here. Maybe not. Actually, sometimes I walk in here and think it's cooler. But here's a 2144 Baron. I don't know if I showed you guys earlier, but I had 3 nice big secondaries running around here. I had some kind of weird thing where they all started to droop. Thought I had some kind of major bacterial wilt or something. Chopped them off. Expected the end of the plant. But I chopped them off and everything seems to be doing okay again. This right here is just tertiaries I'm letting fill in. I'm gonna fill the space back in. This happened 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago probably now. And these tertiaries filled in really quickly. I'll let them go here. So I'm gonna let them go in. I'll terminate them later. But plant-wise on this one, it's getting kind of worn out. I'll be totally honest with you. That side up around the stump, obviously those go first and then out. But this plant hasn't been healthy since the beginning, honestly. And we'll just keep rocking and rolling. The 2144 Baron here had dropped some daily gains pretty fast. And then it picked them back up here a couple days ago. So I don't know if that was a water issue or whatever it was, but here's the plant itself. And then here's the pumpkin. Let me get it uncovered here, 2144. She is not a looker. She's about as ugly as they get. All right, but take a look. That is a spot that was a little tiny when it first started. Totally fine. It just, as it grew, it got bigger with it. Looks like a bullet hole, but it's not. All right, but here's the pumpkin. And she is about DAP 49, I think, today. And we're hanging over, I think a little bit on each side, probably equal on this side, hanging over. That's 5 foot. So a 5 foot board we're over on both sides. She's looking mean and green. She's even got some green streaks down there on the bottom. But for the most part, she's just heavily cantalouped 2144 Baron. Stem looks great, no issues whatsoever. The pumpkin itself, I think she's gonna go heavy. I think it's got the look, it's got that stance to her. I think she'll be a heck of a pumpkin. She, like I said, is well over 1,000 pounds now. Not gonna give any weights out on these because these right here are gonna go to a weigh off. See, I don't go to weigh offs in October or even September a lot of times. A lot of mine are in August. So just where I'm at. But there she is. Let me get her covered back up. We'll make our way down to the other one. Give me just a sec here. Keep that thing right there covered up. But she's a beaut. Looks older than 49 days for sure. We'll walk down to the other end of the greenhouse here. Ventilation is key, by the way. If you plan on growing in a greenhouse in a hot state or any state, honestly, ventilation is key. I've got fans going on every corner. Those leaves are constantly moving in there. That is dead calm out here. So real quick, let's show you the 2262 Stouts. This all used to be plant. It's all gone. We lost a stump on it. Plant still dark green, nice, getting kind of old and aged, but we've lost, I don't know, a good 200 square foot or more of plant, and we're down to here's the stump on this. However, it's still giving me in the 30s per day in weight. This 20 secondary still growing that beast right there. Growing pretty nice. Like I said, plant overall is pretty good. These spots you can see here, I've been keeping them dried up. I use those dryer vents, put them on for about 48 hours, and usually it pretty much just blasts them dry. So I'm really liking these things right here. Let's go around to the pumpkin itself. The 2262 Stout, and she's a little bit younger. I think she's 46 days today. And I think she has now surpassed the 2144 Baron. 2144, like I said, the days kind of dropped off on it, the pounds per day. But let's see what she's doing here. Get you a little better look. Uncover her here. Like I said, here's the plant. Still pretty nice. But let me get these off. There you go. These spots here, if you kept up earlier in the year, those were those seeping spots. Thing was just blowing up like zits. They're all completely dry now, and I don't have that issue anymore. Once I lost the stump, I didn't have that issue. I guess there's just so much pressure. It was literally wanting to blow up. Once I lost the stump, the daily gains dropped about 10 pounds, and it stopped doing that. So that's actually probably a good thing. But here's the pumpkin itself. Super happy with it, excited about it. This genetics and 2262 has grown a couple pumpkins, I think over 20% heavy. Not saying she'll go 20% heavy, but it'd be cool if she did. So there you go. There's the stem. Everything's perfect on her still. I had a couple little spots I cleaned up with alcohol, and boom, they ain't had a single problem with them since. But she's wide. So again, that's a 4 foot board or hanging over each side on this 4 foot bud forward for sure. And then I've had to move her twice, but yeah, there we go. I'll give you a little hint. I think all 3 pumpkins together, I'm about, to the OTT chart anyways, I am around 35 to 3,600 pounds. So there you go, all 3. But there's your little update. Like I said, I'm not gonna give weights on these 2 because they might be coming to a weigh off actually pretty quick in my part of the world. And we'll go from there. So I think this is 26, that one's about 49. And the one we just saw, day PA240 today, 2560. But hope everybody's doing well. It is going to be super hot here next 2 days. We're talking actual temp on Wednesday, I think it's 98, with a temperature of like 110 to 115. If we can make it through that, they're saying the temperature's going to drop and we'll have highs in the 80s. We just got to make it through a little bit of that. We've already had almost solid 3 weeks. I've had, so far this year, I've hit 95 degrees probably 35 times. No problem here in South Central Kentucky. So kind of sucks, but there we are. I hope everybody's doing well. Southern Pumpkin Grower out. See ya.